Good morning, everyone. Today, I'm going to present General Anesthesia Part 2, and the contents include admission to hospital, that is in-hospital procedure, operating room protocol, anesthetic preparation of the child, perioral cleaning, draping, and the placement of the pharyngeal throat pack, restorative dentistry in the operating room, completion of the procedure, post-operative care, discharge criteria, and the references. The in-hospital procedure include admission order. The child is usually admitted to the day before the treatment, and admission order form may be given to the parent to present when the child is brought to the hospital. And this general hospital physician orders, that is admission order, include diet of the patient, ambulatory or the bed rest, isolation, routine chest x-rays, routine lab investigation, tuberculin test, vital signs record, drug orders, IV fluid, lab, and the x-rays. Now the diet. This may be general as tolerated, regular, soft, liquid. The ambulatory or the bed rest, in which the child can remain ambulatory if the parent can supervise the child, and this should be indicated in the order. If any special order for restraints are needed, they should be detailed in the bottom in the blank portion of the order form. The isolation usually indicated during the general anesthesia. Now the routine chest x-ray these are requested on all admission for the operating room during the general anesthesia procedure. The vital signs should be checked before the procedure of the general anesthesia, during and after the treatment. The dentist should add every shift until transferred to the operating room. The laboratory evaluation like CBC, complete blood count, and urine analysis are required for all the children. Screening for bleeding disorders should be requested, which include partial thromboplastin time, prothrombin time, and the platelet count. Now the drug. This section is completed if the child require any special medication that must be continued through his hospital stay, and the dentist is responsible for ordering the drug. The intravenous fluid laboratory test and the x-rays. This is usually indicated only by the child's physician or specifying special treatment which may be required by some severely handicapped children. Now the admission note. This includes history part, physical examination, report of the operation, and the dental examination. All should be included in the admission note. Now, what is admission note? So, the admission note provide general information about the child and the reason for his admission to the hospital. The short stay record serve as a first entry in the note section of the hospital record. So it is referred to the admission note, and this form is given to the parent or mailed to the parent. They should give it to the child's physician, and the physician enters the any preoperative physical examination and return it to the parents, and then after parent present it to the hospital admitting personnel for inclusion into the hospital chart. The dentist should enter the preoperative diagnosis, brief history, and the result of the dental evaluation on this form before it is given to the parent. And this short stay record must useful for the young child where the history is brief. It is usually necessary for the dentist to complete more extensive admission note for the handicapped child. And this extended note written on the blank progress page and attach then it to the short stay record in the hospital. Now, when an extensive admission note is required, so it should follow this outline that include age, race, sex, admission date, chief complaint and the reason for admission, history of the present illness, past medical history, personal history and the medication, summary of the intraoral and extraoral examination, impression, and other recommendation, that is dental treatment in the operating room. Now, what are the preoperative note and what it include? The dentist not be present when his patient is admitted to the hospital. The admitting personnel will collect the admission order and admission note, that is short stay record from the patient, and then enter them into the hospital record chart. On the evening before the scheduled treatment, the dentist should visit the child and his parent at the hospital. The dentist must evaluate the status of the child, that include general disposition, alertness, and the vital signs, all the laboratory values, the radiologist report of the chest x-ray, nurse's report of medication that is administered as ordered, completeness of the hospital record, which must include a signed consent form. Now, the outpatient NPO guidelines over 1 year of age, that includes a clear liquid permitted until 3 hours prior to scheduled surgery, breast milk until 4 hours prior to surgery, formula fortified breast milk and solid food stop at midnight. Clear liquid include water, apple juice, a Gatorade, and Sprite. No jello or broth after midnight. And a clear recipe specifying what food or liquid are acceptable can minimize confusion on the day of the procedure. Now, the operating room protocol. The dentist and the anesthesiologist should wear appropriate attire that is designed to prevent contamination of their surgical suite, any hallways, and the recovery room. This generally consists of a shirt or a pant and covering for the face, head, and feet, and a hood is used to cover the unshaven facial hair. Then the eyeglasses, goggles, or a face shield must be used to protect the surgeon's eye, and a mask must cover the mouth and the nose. The hand hygiene measure must be followed during that, and this include alcohol-based hand rubbing before and after any patient contact. The dentist should wear a sterile gloves, and also sterile gown is worn at the discretion of the dentist. Now, the review article of 2018 by Sonu Acharya et al. Chairside general anesthesia for pediatric dental patient, risky or a risk-free. They concluded that chairside GA in the pediatric patient is a far safer method in treatment of children lacking cooperative ability than many other methods, and previous knowledge by the pediatric dentist regarding the indication for GA provide a better quality dental care, ensuring more safety and less discomfort for their patient. Uh, Journal of Dentistry, Behavior Assessment in Children Following Hospital-Based General Anesthesia versus Office-Based General Anesthesia, Vincent L. et al. The purpose of this study was to determine if the differences in the behavior exist following the dental treatment under hospital-based general anesthesia, that is HBGA, or office-based general anesthesia, that is OBGA, in the percentage of patients exhibiting positive behavior and in the mean Frankel score at the recall visit. The patient were followed to determine their behavior at 6, 12, and 18-month recall appointment, and 54 patients received the treatment under HBGA and 26 were treated under OBGA. And they found that the office-based general anesthesia patient were significantly more likely to exhibit positive behavior at the 6 and the 12-month recall visit. The clinician should consider future behavior when determining the general anesthesia treatment modalities in children with the early childhood caries presenting to their office. Now, general anesthesia time for the pediatric dental cases. The purpose of the study was to describe the use of operating room time for pediatric dental procedure performed under GA at a regional children's hospital over a 2-year period. And they concluded that overall 73% of the dental procedure under GA finished early or on time, and significant variables included patient's age, medical status, treatment type and extent, and the dentist operator time. Assessing factors that impact the time needed in the GA may enhance the efficiency for the pediatric dental procedure. Now, the anesthetic preparation of the child that includes time out protocol. After donning the operating room attire, the dentist should report the surgical site and inform the anesthesiologist of any special request that concern about the procedure before the induction of the anesthesia. When the patient enters the operating room, the mandatory timeout protocol should be followed that include check the patient for any allergies, plan medication and propose treatment to the dentist and anesthesiologist before induction for the child's safety. This is the universal protocol checklist that include assessment or preoperative area assessment, hands off, first time out, second time out, and the final time out. During the procedure, this checklist should be followed. The nasotracheal intubation is preferred to ensure the good access to the oral cavity, but the history of any epistaxis or a certain medical comorbidity may take the nasotracheal intubation relatively contraindicated. So, oral tracheal intubation is generally used with the minimal restorative needs. Uh, in this event, like epistaxis, the anesthesiologist will typically place an endotracheal tube to least affected side of the oral cavity first, and then move it to the other side after the treatment of the disease. Now, the monitoring equipment during the procedure should include the automatic sphygmomanometers, electroradiographic leads, temperature monitoring devices, pulse oximeter, and the capnography device. First of all, the first picture shows that the patient is in stable anesthetic condition and ready for the dental procedure. In this picture, note that the position of the precordial stethoscope, blood pressure cuff, and the orotracheal tube. Uh, the second picture shows that the spatial eye guards are used to protect the patient's eye during the procedure, and a shoulder roll is placed. Padding is added to the patient pressure point, and the endotracheal tube and heads are stabilized. Heating or a cooling blankets are used as needed, and the safety belt is secure. Uh, the uh, the dentist has a table that contain all the armamentarium that is required. Before scrubbing, the dentist should obtain a necessary preoperative radiograph, and all person that are involved in the radiographic procedure should wear a protective lead apron. The radiographs are the excellent quality, can be made while a patient is under GA without exposing the patient or a staff to a necessary radiation. And for this, digital radiographs are advantageous because the radiation exposure is decreased and image feedback is immediate by the digital radiograph. Now, the perioral cleaning, draping, and the placement of the pharyngeal throat pack. Before starting of the dental procedure, the perioral area is cleaned with the sterile 4 into 4-inch gauze pad, and for that, the first gauze pad is saturated with the bacteriostatic cleansing agent, and the second is with the sterile water. The alcohol is not used in the operating room because it is a potential fire hazard. Now, this picture shows that the material that are required for the perioral cleaning that include pharyngeal throat packs, towel clamps, patient's drapes, bacteriostatic agent, sterile water, and the alcohol. Now, the special care must be taken during the perioral cleaning of the patient to prevent any material from entering into the oral cavity. Uh, Now, as in this picture, that shows that the placement of the surgical sheet and the triangular draping of the oral cavity area. A surgical sheet is then positioned over the remainder of the child's body. This helps to maintain body temperature and provide a clean fill during the procedure. Then the head is draped with the three towels that are arranged to form a triangular access. Then after the towels are secured in place with the towel clamps and the hemostat, and the mouth should be fully exposed. This is the schematic drawing of the one example of the positioning of the personnel and the equipment in the operating room. This include the Mayo table, and beside that, surgical assistant, surgeon, anesthesiologist, and observer are there. Um, After the surgical assistant, there is a handpiece, air and H2O suction cart is there. Behind that part of the X-ray unit is provided, and during the whole procedure, circulating nurse is there. The anesthesiologist may request that part of the nasotracheal tube remain exposed so that all the connection can be easily monitored, and the assistant then place all the supporting cards and stand around the table in the position that the dentist find comfortable and the assistant efficient. Now, uh, in this, the first photograph shows that the patient's mouth is open with the aid of the malt mouth prop, and the care should be taken that not to impinge on the lip or a tongue with the prop. And the second photograph shows that the mouth is thoroughly aspirated, and the palatine area is sealed off with the strip of moist 3-inch sterile gauze approximately 12 to 18 inch. Now, the written documentation of the throat pack placement and the removal is required on the physical history form that should be included in the medical chart. This packing reduces the escape of any anesthetic agent and also prevent the material that are entering into the pharynx. The gauze should be tightly packed around the tube so that good seal is achieved. And then after intraoral examination is performed, that followed by dental prophylaxis, and the dentist should then evaluate any new radiographic study that been obtained and formulate a final treatment plan. Now, the article from the Journal of Pain Research 2018, Post-Operative Discomfort and the Emergence Delirium in the Children Undergoing Dental Rehabilitation under GA, Comparison of Nasal Tracheal Intubation and the Laryngeal Mask Airway by Sultan Kales et al. They found that the incidence of the post-operative laryngeal pain was significantly higher in the NTI, that was nasotracheal intubation group, immediately 1 hour and 6 hours post-operatively. There were no statistically significant difference between two groups in the dental pain score, DFT and the DMFT values, duration of anesthesia, duration of dental operation, number of dental procedure, the incidence of the PONV, that is post-operative nausea and vomiting, or pediatric dentist assessed to the mouth, emergence delirium and recovery time was significantly higher in the nasotracheal intubation group. So they concluded that the laryngeal mask airway provided a more comfortable post-operative period than NTI for the children who underwent full mouth dental rehabilitation under the general anesthesia. Now, the restorative dentistry in the operating room. During the procedure, the instrument used for the restorative dental procedure in the operating room are the same as for the dental operatory. The local anesthesia may be used to minimize the pain and bleeding. The LA can decrease the anesthetic requirement or the need for the post-operative operate analgesia. Thus, it decreases the post-operative side effects like nausea. This is the photograph that shows that the operating room position of the staff and the instrument or the dental armamentarium while performing the necessary dental procedure, including any restorative material. stainless steel crown, any impression material, or the forceps. Now the treatment planning that include radiographs. A comprehensive treatment plan is not possible without recent radiograph. An exception of this is when removal of the carious primary incisor teeth is planned, where the radiographs are limited diagnostic value. Now the extraction. If an urgent GA is indicated, the unrestorable asymptomatic teeth should be removed in addition to those that causing pain or a sepsis. Now the restorative option. The most predictably successful restoration should be provided during the GA treatment. A temporary or any provisional restoration may be indicated by the other circumstances, for example, immediate exfoliation, and also the preventive advice should be given to the parent. In a single session under GA should include the treatment like different procedures, including amalgam, composite restoration, pulp treatment, stainless steel crown, extraction, and the strategy is to perform more extraction and stainless steel crown and the fewer pulp treatment and the amalgam or the composite restoration. In the phase of the treatment planning, the more radical treatment should be selected first. If the teeth is there with a doubtful prognosis, then it should be removed. If a grossly unrestorable or a questionable teeth is there, then it extracted. The current concept is to encourage the extraction of the teeth with the necrotic pulp rather than preserve them by the pulp treatment. In medically or mentally complicated patient, the treatment modality such as the tooth extraction is preferred over the other treatment. During the GA, the quadrant isolation with the rubber dam is preferred. After completion of all the dental procedure, a topical fluoride varnish should be applied before the throat pack is removed, and documentation of all the dental procedures like extracted teeth, any sutures are taken or not, blood loss, and hydration in the medical chart should be recorded. The Eldman and associate reported that the quality of the restorative treatment performed was better under general anesthesia than under the conscious sedation. The dentist should place a restoration that will provide a greatest longevity with the least amount of the maintenance, for example, full coverage stainless steel crowns, rather than the large amalgam restoration on the posterior primary teeth. In a 3-year study of comprehensive dental cases that are treated under GA, O'Sullivan and Curzon found that stainless steel crown to be significantly more successful with the 3% failure rate than the amalgam or the composite restoration that have a 29% failure rate. And another study in a 6 to 27 month postoperative period following general anesthesia by L. Abeb et al. They reported that similar value with the stainless steel crown that was 95.5% being more successful than the amalgam or the composite restoration. The another study by Tate and colleagues, 6-month retrospective study to assess the failure rates of dental restorative procedure performed under GA by pediatric dental resident, found stainless steel crown to be best, followed by amalgam and composite, and the composite strip crown had the lowest successful restorative treatment rate. Now, the failure rate of the restorative procedure following the dental rehabilitation under general anesthesia by Anupama Rao et al. They found that 241 of the record were evaluated, and SS crown had a significantly lower failure rate than the amalgam, and the highest failure rate was seen in the composite and the composite strip crown. So they concluded that stainless steel are the most reliable restoration, while composite restoration are the least durable. The Dental Research Journal, evaluation of efficacy of restorative dental treatment provided under general anesthesia at hospitalized pediatric dental patient of Isfahan. They found that SS crown restoration had significantly better result versus class 1 and class 2 amalgam and the class 1 and class 2 tooth color restoration. All type of posterior tooth color restoration had statistically same result with the amalgam restoration. And the failure rates of SS crown and the anterior composite resin buildup restoration did not correlate with the time of the follow-up. So they concluded that SS crown restoration had significantly better result versus other posterior restoration. Now the intraoperative anesthesia complication that includes dislodged or obstructed endotracheal tube, intravenous infiltrate or disconnects, nasal bleeding or edema, abrasion or a laceration of the tongue, lips or mucosa, and arrhythmias. And extraoral complication include any perioral abrasions, swelling, and the laceration. The care should be taken by the dentist that not to displace the endotracheal tube and to minimize contact with the perioral tissue when possible. Priority is given by the dentist to the anesthesiologist to treat any adverse event quickly, even to the point of stopping treatment and removing of the rubber dam to allow the access. Now, the mortality risk associated with the pediatric dental care using GA in the hospital setting by Jessica Lee et al. They reported 2 to 615 dental cases using GA on children the ages 1 to 6 years, and there were no deaths associated with the anesthesia reported by responding hospital, and it was concluded that no deaths were reported among more than 22,000 cases over a 10-year period. And this provided valuable information on the safety using general anesthesia for the pediatric dental care. Now, the post-operative complication of the pediatric dental general anesthesia procedure provided in Jeddah Hospital, Saudi Arabia by Nazet Percy et al. And the result shows that 99% of the children had one or more complaint in the first day, in the contrast to only 33% in the third day. That include inability to eat, sleepiness, pain were the most common complaint in the first day. That was followed by bleeding, drowsiness, sore throat, vomiting, psychological changes, fever, cough, and the nausea. The great significant complaints reduction was reported by third post-operative day. So they concluded that post-operative morbidity was common, but mostly of the mild severity and limited to the first day. The hospital staff effort should be directed to the control commonly reported post-operative complaint. Now, the completion of the procedure that include end time out protocol. The anesthesiologist should be notified 10 minutes before the completion of the procedure so that the child can begin to be aroused and preparation can be made for the extubation. On the completion of the dental procedure, the oral cavity is thoroughly debrided, the throat pack is removed and prevent it and remove carefully to prevent aspiration of any material that prevent aspiration of any material that might be lodged against it. The end time out protocol is called by the circulating nurse to identify the patient safety concern. The dentist verbalizes a needle and a sponge count and the removal of the throat pack to the nurse. After that, the anesthesiologist then bring the patient through the emergence and then trachea is extubated. When the child is transported to the recovery room, the dentist should accompany the anesthesiologist and provide assistance during the transformation. The quality of the recovery from two types of general anesthesia for ambulatory dental surgery in children, a double-blind randomized trial. They found no difference in the incidence of emergence delirium after both the type of anesthesia, either a sevoflurane or a propofol-based technique. However, the use of sevoflurane significantly increased both the risk of post-operative nausea and vomiting and the number of the post-operative nursing intervention. The discharge criteria were met about 10 minutes earlier in the patients anesthetized with the sevoflurane, and the parental satisfaction was equally high with both the type of the anesthesia regimens. Now the post-operative care that includes post-operative order and the post-operative note. So the post-operative order and the note for the staff should be completed by the dentist and recorded in the medical chart while the child is in the post anesthesia care unit. The transfer order may be used for the individual requiring more specialized care than the pediatric dentist usually provides. This is the transfer medical order that include transfer to the pediatric medical service, vital signs, change of any intravenous fluid for pediatric medical services, encourage clear liquid, advance to soft diet as tolerated, monitoring for the oral hemorrhage for 24 hours and apply moist sterile gauze and pressure if necessary, medication for the pediatric medical services, and continue additional medication per prescription. For example, if mild pain is there, acetaminophen or ibuprofen suspension. If moderate pain is there, then hydrocodone with the acetaminophen, and antibiotics such as amoxicillin or a clindamycin is used. And nausea, if there is nausea, then ondansetron. Give and review the appropriate home care instruction and return appointment with the family prior to the discharge. And for dental question, a contact number should be given. The component of the dentist operative note should include title of the dental procedure, type of intubation and anesthesia used, teeth restored or extracted, other procedure completed, dental prophylaxis and topical fluoride use, like a summary that include length of the procedure, how the child tolerated the procedure, blood loss, complication, any prognosis, and the dentist signature. The operative report should be dictated as soon after the completion of the procedure as possible. And the component of the dentist operative report should include doctor's and assistant name, patient name and hospital number, pre-operative and the post-operative diagnosis, title of the operative procedure, preparation for the anesthesia that include pre-operative medication, type of intubation and the anesthetic agent used, surgical procedure, then that include radiographs taken, description of scrub or draping procedure and the throat pack, number of the teeth restored, type of restoration, teeth extracted, number of teeth receiving any pulp therapy, gingival therapy procedure, band for the appliances and the impression, dental prophylaxis and the fluoride applied, type and amount of the intraoperative fluid used and the other information if indicated, estimated blood loss and the hemostasis, condition of the patient at the conclusion of the surgical procedure if any complication incur if indicated, condition of the patient on arrival in the recovery room and the prognosis. Now, the factor related to the postoperative discomfort in the young children following dental rehabilitation under GA, they concluded that discomfort after treatment was mild and decreased over a time and other than immediately post-operatively was not related to the specific dental procedure. Now, the discharge note. In the afternoon or early evening of the day of the operative procedure, the dentist should visit the child on the ward, uh, check for during the visit, the dentist should assure himself that operative area is normal or not. Then he should check for the swelling or any intraoral hemostasis and ask if there has been any nausea or a difficulty in swallowing. The nurse's note must be read to make sure that the child's vital signs have been stabilized and normal. The child should be taking fluids and eating his regular diet, and he should have voided. The child's alertness and responsiveness should be similar to the preoperative levels. The dentist must detail this finding in the note section in the hospital record. If the findings are normal, the child should be ready to be discharged, and this entry should be filled in the hospital record at the discharge note. And the criteria for the discharge from the SDS to home include heart rate, respiratory rate, and the blood pressure are within the 10% of the preoperative value. SaO2 is greater than 95 or at preoperative value. Owing to the nature of the pediatric patient, many patients may be upset upon the admission to the point that vital signs are not representative of their baseline. In this situation, the first set of the vital signs from the OR will be used. Second one is respiration are unlabored and the breath sound are equal and consistent with the preoperative examination. Dressing is intact with the minimal or no drainage present and or incision free of fresh drainage. Patient is tolerating oral fluid with no nausea or vomiting unless physician has made an exception to this. Patient is alert when awake or at preoperative level function. Older child is able to speak clearly or at preoperative level an infant has a clear cry. Pain is controlled. Patient's motor function has returned to baseline or is at expected level consistent with the surgical or the anesthetic management. All the post-operative order have been addressed and completed where applicable. Written appointment have been made if applicable. An anesthesiologist has been notified of and or has examined any child with the prolonged emesis or a croup, and patient has discharge order signed by the surgeon and the anesthesiologist. If the child was treated as an outpatient, once the child is awake or alert, if we display appropriate behavior, maintain his or her own airway, or has stable vital sign, has no uncontrolled bleeding or a pain, and has no retention of the fluid, then the child could be discharged rather than kept overnight for the further evaluation. The facility Now, starting with the components of the dentist discharge and the summary statement, that should include patient name and the hospital number, date of the admission, discharge, and date of dictation, preoperative and postoperative diagnosis, age, race, and the gender of the patient, reason for the admission and the treatment using general anesthetics, result of preoperative history, physical examination that include medical and the dental history, and the present medication, name of physician, and completing the history and the physical examination, and complete description of the surgical procedure, patient's tolerance in the recovery room and the ward, condition of the patient on discharge, and individual to whom the patient is discharged, home care instruction given to the parents or a guardian, and medication that are prescribed, dosage and time to be given, patient next appointment, and copies of discharge summaries signed to the patient physician and referring dentist or a physician. If the child is to be kept for a 23-hour observation, an appropriate note is recorded in the medical chart and the discharge summary is dictated after the child is released. One article by George A. et al. Perceive outcome and the parental satisfaction following dental rehabilitation under GA, and they concluded that children with the early childhood caries receiving comprehensive treatment under GA achieve improvement in their quality of life as well as overall health. A hierarchy of the improvement was noted, with the greatest improvement noted in the pain experience, followed by improved ability to eat and sleep. And the parents were overwhelmingly satisfied with the outcome and the process of the care, and reported that their acceptation had been made. These are the references. Thank you.